Hi everybody, it's me Courtney Lane. I'm so excited to be back here with my keys and with all my cool key people. So for our last lesson, we went over how to play the rock camp song. We went over the notes of the keys. We did some triads when we were practicing on Zoom. But today we're not going to be doing theory as much as we're going to be doing actual stage presence. Today we're going to be talking about how to have fun when you're playing, how not to, slouch, how not to be nervous, because a hard part of playing music, especially for other people, is getting your energy across to them. A lot of times when we practice, we're sitting down. I bet you're sitting down right now. We sit and we kind of slouch. We're staring at our keys. We're not really worrying about how we look to the people who are watching us. And that's okay if you're practicing. But today I want you to stand up. If you are not already standing, I want you to pause this video and I want you to stand, jump around, shake it out. I'm standing right now. I've got my big keyboard stand and I'm standing. I have it adjusted so it's comfortable for my height so I can play it while still standing and being energetic and loose. It's not too high up so I'm not like, but it's not too low down so I don't have to crouch, so I'm not slouching. It's comfortable around my belly. And this is how I would like you to practice for the remainder of this video and also for whenever works for you. This is a really great way to practice your stage presence and your energy and your confidence as a musician. You can be a great musician if you're slouching, but it's not going to be very fun to watch. So if you're playing with a band, you want to be fun on stage. You want people to go, yeah! You want people to, be excited. You want people to share your excitement about music. And how are they going to do that if everybody's all slouching down? Your drummer's, and your guitarist is sitting and just like crouching down here. You've never seen a great band, slouching. When you watch people like Talia and people like Sophia Scott, local amazing Salt Lake City legends, when you watch them play on stage, they're jumping around, they're walking around, they're being really cool, So today we're going to be talking about how to do that on keys. So the reason keys is a little harder to kind of portray your energy with is because obviously you can't really walk around. You can't take your keys wherever you want, which is a darn shame. I really wish we could, but we're gonna make do with what we got. We're in a stationary position, but that's why you gotta make sure you're standing. Once you're on your feet, shake out your shoulders, shake out your arms, make sure your back is straight. Make sure you're confident and that you love yourself. I know we already have that down. I know we all love ourselves and know that we're cool. So don't forget that. That's our most important part of today is that you're cool as heck and other people are gonna know it by the end of this video. So if you're standing now, great job. Today we're gonna be going over the rock camp song, but not the notes, the vibes. Today is a vibe lesson. So we're already standing, but standing isn't the only part of stage presence because you can still be standing, but if I'm just kind of loose, if I'm just looking down at my piano and not looking up, if I'm just focusing mostly on my piano, not really acknowledging the people around me, I'm alone in this room, but if there were people, I would be acknowledging them. If we're just looking at our keys, It sounds cool, I won't lie, it sounds fine, and it's easier to do this, but being cool isn't always easy. When you are playing on stage, if you're slouched over, then people aren't going to get as hyped as you want them to be, but also you can't communicate with your bandmates. When you're on stage, music is alive, music is a living thing, and you want to be able to communicate with your band members if you're about to go into a different passage, if you're playing on your E here for the rock camp song. If someone's not sure of where they are, if you're trying to cue something, if you're, cueing going into the next thing, if you want to cue a solo, you've got to be up, you've got to be communicating with your body language what's going on with the music so your bandmates can, understand what you want to do, so you can understand what they want to do, so everybody stays together. because you can't really talk on stage. You can't be like, hey guys, we're going into the next part, because you're on stage, it's really loud, they'll probably be trying to read your lips and be like, what? So it's much easier and much more effective to look around, be standing, use your body language, nods, you know, jumping around. You'll kind of learn each other's body language as you play more together, but that's a really important part of playing on stage. So what are we gonna do? I'm gonna play a verse, and I'm gonna play it as if I am not super jazzed about what's going on. I'm gonna play like I'm nervous, and I'm gonna play like I'm perhaps not having the greatest time. And you're gonna witness how not fun it is to watch. It's kind of lame, and it's not fun for you either. If you're nervous and timid about how you're playing, you're not gonna have a ton of fun. It's gonna be a little intimidating, it's gonna be nerve-wracking, and it's gonna be harder to have fun. So here's an example of what I used to look like when I played music before I learned how to get down. And it looks a little something like this. We're here to rock, we're here to roll, playing some noise, taking control. We build each other up, not tear each other down. We build each other up, not tear each other down. So here's the thing, is I'm playing all the right notes. So what's gone wrong? You're playing all the right notes, you're on the beat, you're singing the right words, so what's the matter? Well, the matter is it's not fun. Part of rock camp is taking up space, being confident with yourself, having as much fun as physically possible, and just staring at your keys. It's good for when you're actually learning the song. If you know you gotta practice your actual keys and your actual notes, then of course you do want to look at your keys. But once you've got your song down, then it's time to move on to stage 2 of practicing, which is practicing your vibes, practicing your presence as a musician. So here I'm gonna play the first verse of the rock camp song the way I want us all to be doing it by the end of the video. So I want you can't really see my feet, but your feet should be apart. Your legs should be maybe shoulder length apart. Shake it out. Do a little twirl. You might be like, ugh, I don't want to do a twirl, Courtney. You might need to do a twirl or two. I'm sorry, it's the way it is. That time was way more fun, and I'm sorry you can't see my legs, but what I'm doing with my legs is I'm kind of bouncing a little bit. You'll hear your drums if you're playing with a drummer and you want to bounce with that beat. You want to keep time with your whole body, because in our first lesson we talked about counting. You know, we count 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. If you're not counting with your body, it's really easy to get lost. It's easy to go too fast or too slow, or just get a little sloppy. But if you're counting with your whole body, if you're not just counting with your brain, but if you're feeling that beat with your bones and your muscles, then it's infinitely easier to stay on that beat, and other people can tell. Other people will feel the beat with you, because that's how music works. It's a universal language, and if you're speaking that language, other people will understand. If you're kind of like, I'm sorry, I'm just now learning this language, I've only been in class for a week, then other people will be able to tell that you're new at this language, that you don't quite know all the grammar and stuff yet. But we're gonna be fluent in the musical vibes soon. So a really important part is jumping around with your body, keeping that beat. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. as jumping around and keeping the time with your body, you want to be looking up. Make sure you are aware of where your eyes and your chin is pointed. If you're staring down at your keys, then you can be jumping, but it's not so much fun for other people. The people in your audience and the people in your band want to make sure that you're not sucked into your own instrument. Because if you're sucked into your own instrument, then it's harder to be a band. Then you're playing next to your band and not with your band. So you want to keep your eyes up, you want to be looking around, you want to read your crowd, you want to kind of take in the energy that they're giving you, and then you want to reflect it back at them. You know, cleanse it, take what they're giving you, and you make it a little better, and then you reflect it back at them. So if they're like, yeah, this is good, you want to bring it above there. Obviously that's a lot more fun. So now that we've addressed all the reasons why our stage presence should be, you know, more energetic, I want to address some of the concerns that I've heard people have about, you know, jumping around on stage. And number one is, I hear it a lot from teenagers that I see playing music, and it's, I feel like I'm a little too cool to be jumping around like a jerk. And I'm here to tell you that the truth is, you are way too cool to be standing still like a jerk. Nobody wants to watch a person stand still. When you go to a show, when you are watching your favorite band, when you're watching your friend's band, when you're watching a stranger's band, the last thing you want to see is someone standing there, going like this, singing, playing their instrument. It's boring. It's not fun to watch. And it affects the quality of the music that you're playing. If your body isn't incorporated into the music, then your music's not going to sound as good. Straight up, it's math. It's how it works. So if you are feeling perhaps a little embarrassed by how exciting rock camp is, if you're like, oh, I don't know, I'm a little shy. I don't know if I want to, you know, put myself out there like that. I promise it is for the greater good. It's for the quality of your music. It's for the fun of the people around you. Another concern that I've heard people have is, I can't stand up for that long because I have a physical ailment. And that's a good excuse. If you have a back problem or a leg problem or something that is, you know, a physical reason why you can't stand up for a full set, then everything that I'm teaching you today can be applied to sitting down. But if you are able to stand up, then I strongly encourage it. But if you have to sit down, then you can obviously still be a rock star sitting down. A lot of keyboardists in the 60s and 70s, you'll see them sitting down, but they are still so cool. They're still rocking. They're still... They are going so crazy. If you look up videos of anyone playing a Rhodes piano in the 70s, if you look up videos of people at Woodstock, a lot of times they are sitting down because of the height of the keyboard. They can't really like make it any higher because the instrument is just lower to the ground, so they have to sit, but their stage presence is still unmatched. They're rocking back and forth, they're headbanging, they're using their shoulders, they're using every inch of their body, they're kicking their legs, they're hitting their pedals. Sitting doesn't necessarily make you a bad musician, but I always encourage you, if you are able to stand up, please stand up. It makes you, you know, it keeps you from falling asleep. It's just a good way to practice your stage presence. So now, I think we've covered all of the points that I wanted to cover, and I'm going to play the rock camp song as obnoxiously as I can, because obnoxious is not synonymous with bad in music. You kind of want to be a little obnoxious. Rock and roll is a little obnoxious. You want to take up space. You want people to know that you're here and you're having fun and that you're a killer musician, that you're ripping on these songs. And so it's not the same as being obnoxious in real life. If you're jumping around and, you know, moshing with people in real life, okay, maybe tone it down a little bit, you know. Maybe you're in class and it's not the best place for that. But you know what the best place is for that? On stage. All the energy that you have built up needs to be released somehow, and this is how you do it. There is no better way to do it than on stage with your keys, or your guitar, or your drums, or whatever you got. So now I'm gonna play the Rock Camp song, and it's gonna be great. I encourage you to play along with me. I want you to stand up, or if you're sitting, I want you to sit up. I want you to shake out your shoulders one more time, stretch out your arms, stretch out your fingers. Do one of these. Make sure you're loose, but not slouchy. You're loose, but you're tall. You're stretchy, but firm. Here we go, everybody. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. We came to rock, we came to roll, making some noise, taking control. We build each other up, not tear each other down. Build each other up, not tear each other down. Came here to get loud, showing up strong and proud, saying yeah to the status quo. Here we are putting on a show. Build each other up, not tear each other down. Build each other up, not tear each other down. Roll call. I don't know the band names yet, but this is where we would be yelling. We all rock, we build each other up, not tear each other down. Build each other up, not tear each other down. Hey you, yeah you, you're amazing, it's true. Hey you, yeah you, you're amazing, it's true. We build each other up, not tear each other down. We build each other up, not tear each other down. Wow! Big finish. Big finish is very important. That wasn't even the biggest finish that I've ever done. I would recommend a bigger one if you have the energy, but I'm a little out of breath because I'm very tired today. But, so one more thing that I remembered while I was playing that I forgot to mention is, it's okay to look down at your keys because you do need to know where your hands are going. So a quick little glance down when you're making the transition from one note to another is quite important. You do need to know where you're going. But if you're just vamping on a note, you want to look around, you want to check out your audience, you know, wink at somebody, you want to roll your shoulders around. You can't. I wish you could see my legs, but you want to kick your legs, use them, use your legs. Your legs are part of the music. And I would just recommend doing that whenever you can. Music is therapy, and therapy is expensive, but music is free. I think that's about it for today. Thank you so much for watching my video. I hope everybody's having fun and rocking their camp like heck. I hope you're all writing some good music, having a great time with your COVID bubbles. Remember to keep your energy up. Remember to have fun and to take up space at all times, but especially during music. Love you guys. Keys out.